A great sales professional is one of the most important people on the planet. You could argue that Steve Jobs is one of the greatest contributors to humanity in history, and I would answer that Steve Jobs was first and foremost a great salesman. Even if he hadn't been, he couldn't have accomplished anything of what he did without a string of nameless sales professionals stretching back through history because he never would have had the tools or the technology to achieve what he did. So the next time you're in front of some professional buyer or some tough client who's actively trying to make you feel like some kind of scumbag that they might deign to buy from if the price is low enough, I want you to know you are not a scumbag. Quite the opposite. You're literally one of the most valuable people on the earth. You make the world a better place. In fact, sales as a profession is responsible for all human progress. Let me explain. Without sales professionals, what value do engineers have? What value do entrepreneurs have? What value do doctors have if they've got no equipment to do their job with? What value do manufacturers have if they've got no one to sell their products? What value do even universities have if they got no reason to do any research on new materials? What value do authors have if nobody's developed paper yet because there's nothing in it for them? What value does any function on this planet have other than growing your own food or building your own rudimentary tools? If there's no sales, there's no reason to invent anything because there's no reason to have products. Here's an example. Hypothetically, let's say that you're newly married and your wife is about to have your first child. So you get a call at work on a phone that wouldn't exist if it weren't for sales. You go and jump in your car that wouldn't exist without sales, using gasoline for fuel that wouldn't exist, that's made of steel that wouldn't exist, that has an engine that wouldn't exist, etc., etc. In fact, your wife would be giving birth on a dirt floor in a grass hut because no one would have bothered to invent hospitals, let alone the lumber that your house is built of, because there's no reason to have a lumber mill. Were it not for a long retinue of salesmen in the past that taught somebody how to do something that they already did, but maybe better, how they could make their steel, their glass, their plastic, their cell phone, their lumber better, faster, higher quality, lower cost, all in the effort to sell some new technology that a friend or a relative or a business associate invented, some genius who invented something, who invented it only because he could make a living from it. Were it not for these potential profits from these things, you wouldn't have any of them. What does a good salesman do? A sales professional. You teach. A good salesman teaches their client how to do more, how to make more, how to build more, how to cure more. A good salesman does not swindle. That's a scammer. If you want to be a scammer, there's all kinds of car lots that are looking to hire you right now. A good salesman's always trying to make the lives and jobs of their clients better. Good salesmen are never despised. They're admired. They're thanked. They're valued. I know this. This happened to me. They bring value to every interaction with their clients. Their clients get value out of the very meeting. Why? Because the client walks away from the meeting knowing more. Even if they choose to buy something else, the client knows more than they did before the meeting started. That's what a good salesman does. A good salesman doesn't hate their job. They don't feel like they have to take a shower after work. They look forward to their time in front of the client because that time is fun. Yes, fun. Do you feel like your sales job is fun? Or at least the part of it where you're solving customers' problems, the part where you're in front of the customer inspiring them to do more, to make more? If you feel that way, congratulations, you're in the minority. If you don't feel that way, watch my videos. If you can get to the point that sales becomes fun, your life will never be the same. Getting to that level as a sales professional is life-changing. You can write your own ticket to success. You'll never be without work. Your sales skills will translate to any industry, any location, any country on earth. And of course, your account will get greener. What's not to like about that? If this is not your current state, you should watch my videos. I can help. I've helped people before. Brand new salesmen straight out of college. I helped them get to the point where sales is fun, where they started succeeding in their career at a level that they never expected. I short-circuited their learning process by decades. They got to that point decades faster than I did. It just takes mentorship. It takes learning. It takes caring. If you're managing a team that you think could be better, check out my playlist for managers. Watch all my other videos too, and hit the share button. Send it to a team member. Send it to that colleague, that relative, that friend. You can make a real impact on their life, and it costs nothing. It's just hitting the share button. That's all it is. It's easy. Just do it. Okay, here's your homework. And remember, you'll never make any significant progress on your career, on your self-development without doing some work. And in this case, it's just a little assignment. And if you think you're serious about wanting to become a better sales professional and you don't do this little assignment, what does that say? Think about it. Ask yourself, what does it say? So do the assignment. It's even an easy assignment. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to pause the video. When I do, I actually really want you to pause the video. In fact, I'll even put in a little outtake window so you know where to hit the pause button. After you pause that video, I want you to think about what I said. I want you to examine your feelings and your beliefs. Does what I say about the sales profession ring true to you? Or do you still feel that stereotypical guilt burden about having some kind of dirty job? Do you believe me, or do you believe the buyers of the world, or just using it as a tactic to make you feel worthless so they'll get that lower price? That's what they're measured on. That's their KPIs. Think about what I said. And after you've had to think about it, write down the parts you agree with and the parts you disagree with, and the parts that you're undecided about. Yes, write this down. It's part of the homework. Homework, writing it down. Use a pad and paper. Once you've written them down, you can resume the video. Okay, go ahead and stop the video now. Welcome back. I hope you've written down some insights. I hope I've challenged you to think about your career differently. After all, when one is proud of what they're doing, one is more likely to be confident about it. One is more likely to approach it with passion. One's more likely to stick with it through thick and thin. And most importantly, one is most likely to stick up for themselves in front of the clients. Believe me, this is going to have a positive impact on the number of sales you close. It'll also have a positive impact on the sales price that you get for each sale. Once you realize the worth of what you bring to the table, you've got more to bargain with. Your hand is stronger. Your clients will see this and they'll respond. They'll have more confidence in you and your product and your company. They will pay that higher price and they will actually feel much better about it making that purchase from you instead of your competitors, who they won't even be thinking of anymore. Sales is a psychology game. It's all done in the brain. Sure, you have to be physically in front of your client, but everything else is mental. If you can eliminate some of your own internal conflicts about what you do for a living, simply by changing your mindset about your career, and I'm going to do an entire video about mindset, you should definitely watch that video, you'll have an immediate impact on your success, not just in sales, but in life. You'll feel so much better about what you do, and everything else will get better with it. Now that you have these things that you agree with or disagree with or are undecided about written down, I want you to post them in the comments. Yes, take a couple of dang minutes and post them in the comments. It will help you because it will be making a declaration to the world. It'll help everyone else who reads the comments because they won't feel so alone. And it'll help you to read all of their comments for the same reason. It'll also help me, by the way. It'll give me insight into what people think is valuable, what they think is right and what they think is wrong and what's questionable. It might change my presentation. More likely, it'll give me conviction about those topics I need to spend more time on, to put more energy into, and help people overcome. One more thing that I ask. Hit the like button, hit the share button. Share this information with everyone you know who could be positively impacted by this message. It'll help me spread the word. I'm on a mission, after all, to help repair the reputation of the sales profession at large. I'm also on a mission to start educating people in how to succeed in literally the most important profession on the planet, which ironically has absolutely no formal education support. After you do these things, I'd like to thank you for paying attention, and I'll see you on the next one.